But I know when I do mine, they're very strong because I leave them in the jar for like a month. And I'll even leave the herb in there after the fact and then just shake it up when I give some to someone that needs it or whatever. And, you know, the Lord has really blessed us in that He's allowed us to be able to help a lot of people with herbs for their healing. And freely He has given to us, and freely do we give to others, to His people. And I can give you an example of this one little man, and he had this cancer right on his ear, and it was really just overtaking his ear. He had had it on there for 30 years, and he really kind of knew it was cancer, but he didn't want to do anything about it. But he went to the doctor, and the doctor saw this big old thing on his ear, and he wanted to cut it out, and he sent him to this doctor for a biopsy. Well, he got a biopsy, and sure enough, it was cancer. Well, the guy wanted to cut on him, do chemo, radiation, all this stuff on him, and I just was like, oh. I said, don't do that, Pastor, don't do that. I said, I'll tell you what, if you want to go this route, I'll help you. You know, there's a herb that you can put on there that will cause that cancer to come out. Actually, what I told him is there's several ways. There's like an herb to put on it for slow removal, or the fast way, which is a salve, a black salve they call it. And so he wanted to do the fast way, and so I said okay, and I started helping him, and did some treatments and stuff, and within 2 weeks the cancer fell out. The cancer that had been there for 30 years fell out, and he doesn't have it anymore. Of course, we were praying along with this natural means, which is what we do, which is what I believe God means for us to do. Between prayer and the natural means, God will heal through those ways, and just immediately He heals too. I've seen Him do that. So this is just something, you know, that you guys really need to think about, because there is an herb for everything, every ailment, no matter what it is. You know, there are things for people with gallstones. There are simple ways like taking apple juice for several days, and then lemon juice and olive oil that gets rid of gallstones. And like I said, there's so many things that keep people from having to go in and be cut on. Because what people don't realize is when they go in and be cut on, God gives us each of these organs for a reason. And when people have their gallbladder or whatever cut out, then the means that those organs were meant for can no longer function. So it causes an imbalance in the system when that happens. And also when people have surgery, it's just almost a given that they possibly could get adhesions, which the body is naturally doing that, trying to heal the place that it was cut. You know, it just naturally forms like adhesion type things. And a lot of times that's why people have to go back into surgery for things like the heart or abdominal things or whatever, is because of adhesions, because they have closed off something, you know, grown and closed off. But there's also things that can take care of that. I mean, the Lord has just shown us so much over the years. There's a place, it's a magnetic place, and it's Lion Legacy, and I'll have to get the link for that. But it is a place that you can get North Pole magnetic things, which is where we started out in the very beginning. uh, by getting this 4-pound magnet, North Pole magnet. And we didn't know anything about anything like that, but we had heard it on the shortwave, and so we thought, well, we'll try that. And so we put spring water on this magnet and magnetized the water and started drinking it. And this is in the very beginning, and of course our bodies were full of, chemical stuff, because we would eat, stuff that we weren't supposed to eat in the beginning, and so even the simplest thing as magnetic water was cleansing us out, getting rid of stuff in us. So it's like there are so many things that can be done without going in and being cut on, or being all your money being spent, just like the woman with the issue of blood. And so many people are bound up in the medical system, and look at the doctors as God, when they should be looking at God as God for their healer, and listening to what God is saying to them for their healing. And just having the attitude that, Lord, I'm going to trust in you, and I'm going to do what you tell me to do in your word about using your herbs and just the natural things. Even over the years we've learned things about when someone breaks their leg, and what to do with pressure, and healing herbs and oils that literally within 30 minutes will start to heal up a bone or heal up the skin. It's just amazing. If you do your homework and your study, which you can do on the internet, just check these things out and ask the Lord to show you. He will show you. He will show you. And I might have mentioned elderberry a little bit, but I want to talk a little bit about elderberry. It is a very good herb, good for just about everything. They say that it's one of the only cures for bird flu, which is pretty amazing to me, but it cleanses the blood. And I tell you, if your blood is cleansed, you're going to be healthy. If your blood is the correct pH balance, which is 7.0, disease is not going to live in your body. If you got the oxygen going through it like it needs to be, disease cannot live in your body. There are just many, many things, like hydrogen peroxide therapy, food grade hydrogen peroxide that you can literally drink in small amounts in water, and it puts oxygen right in your system. We've done that, started doing that a long time ago, and I mean, you can literally, your face will start to pink up and get red with the oxygen in the system. There's just so many things, get on the internet and do a search on hydrogen peroxide therapy. Do a search on these herbs like cayenne and hawthorn berry and ginkgo biloba and elderberry and like plantain. Plantain grows just probably right out in your yard, and it is just an amazing thing. Even the animals, when they get bit by a snake or anything, or a spider or something, or get sick, they will go directly to a plantain plant. And plantain, you can make your own tincture, get your powder, or you can pick it right out of your yard and bring it in and put it in your blender. And like I said, you can make it with what we make ours with is vodka, because it has a shelf life forever with that. And what happens is, when you make the herb and it sits like for a month, the herb will just be absorbed, or the alcohol is absorbed, and when you get through making the tinctures, there's not very much, hardly any alcohol content there for you to, it's all absorbed in the herb, in other words. But in order to make it indefinite shelf life, it needs to be done with that. So anyway, that is what we use.